CBS News political contributors Robby, Mook, and Terry Sullivan join us now. Robby was the presidential campaign manager for Hillary Clinton in 2016, and Terry managed Senator Marco Rubio's campaign. Good morning, gentlemen. Robby, let me start with you. You went through this 4 years ago with Hillary Clinton. How does Joe Biden approach debating Donald Trump?
Yeah, well, the campaign has announced that he is going to be laser focused on his own agenda. You know, it's really easy. We faced this with Hillary. It's very easy to get bogged down in fact checking Donald Trump. A lot of what he's going to say is not true. Trump is desperate in this debate to change the narrative somehow. Let's stop talking about COVID. Let's stop making this a referendum on his presidency. Let's bring something else up. And Joe Biden's got to keep this a referendum on Donald Trump. So I think that's what we'll see him doing. But he cannot get bogged down in checking every fact. Otherwise, he's never going to talk about what he wants to say.
Terry, Biden got defensive in debates during the primaries at times. Is that a danger for him?
Yeah, it really is. Look, as a campaign manager, one of the toughest things to do is to control what's going to happen in a debate and remove as many variables as possible. And as Robby said, preparing to debate Donald Trump is just a bag full of unknowns. If this was a fight, Mike Tyson, you can train your boxer as much as you want, but Donald Trump is the Mike Tyson of debaters. He's not going to come in and fight in a normal way that you can plan for. He's going to come in and bite your ear off. I mean, this is going to be a brawl, and he's going to be unconventional, and he's just going to come at you, and that's tough to prepare your candidate for.
How do you guys think that Mr. Trump is going to handle the tax story, which has suddenly taken over the headlines?
Yeah, look, he faced this in 2016.
Sorry, go ahead, Robby. Start.
Go ahead. No, I was going to say Hillary faced this, or he faced this from Hillary in 2016, too. You know, she really walked through this. She actually, I would argue, really anticipated everything we just saw in this article. He's just going to say he was smart. And frankly, again, I think it's easy to see something like that as an important rabbit hole to go down. But at the end of the day, I think it's a rabbit hole. Fundamentally, the case Joe Biden has to make here is Trump lied to the American people and failed on COVID. Their lives would have been better if someone else had been in charge. If he starts getting into taxes, you know, I think it's a diversion from his core objectives in this debate,
Terry?
For sure.
Yeah, I completely agree with Robby. The one thing I would add to that is that if you're going to head down this line of attack, the president is going to see this as him being smart, as him beating the IRS or outsmarting the tax code. If Joe Biden is going to be faced with this and have to answer it, he needs to attack this as Donald Trump's not as successful as he normally thought he would. Donald Trump doesn't care if you hate him. What he cares about is if you're laughing at him and you think he's a failure. And we saw this anytime that anybody's gotten the best of him in a debate, it's by minimizing him and laughing at him. And he can't handle that and comes unraveled. And we saw that in 2016 on multiple formats. That's the only time you get the best of him. So if Biden's going to push this issue, he needs to push it as, turns out you didn't make much money after all. You were losing money.
Well, but no one likes to hear that either, Terry, especially if you've been saying your theme song is money, 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 money. No one wants to hear you don't have any money, 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 or as much as you said. But listen, guys, the voting is already underway. The numbers show that more than 1 million people have already voted. And if you haven't voted, you certainly have made up your minds, is the belief. So how much of a difference do these debates make? Yet I can't wait for tonight. I know many people are very excited to see what's going to happen tonight. But how much of a difference does it really make at this stage?
I don't know that it does.
Yeah,
you know, and we've seen that the past few presidential cycles. Yeah, it just hasn't really made much of a difference. It's fun. It's fun to watch. It's good sport. We're all going to pick winners, losers, winning moments, losing moments, all that. But I don't think it's going to have much impact on the voters. What I would say is, what's the takeaway, right? If I'm the Biden campaign, I want people to come out of this debate thinking about Donald Trump's record. If I'm Donald Trump, I want voters thinking about something else about Joe Biden. But that's really the best a campaign can do.
Terry, you agree with that?
You know, one thing that's, I think one thing that's been interesting about this cycle in 2020, in a year of huge instability. I mean, we've had, riots in the streets. We've had peaceful protests. We've had, global pandemics. We've had economic collapses. And out of all of those things, The one thing that has been constant is Donald Trump and Joe Biden's polling numbers. It is the most bizarre thing I've ever seen. The national polling lead, which I know it's not about national polls, but it's a great barometer, has not changed outside a point or two in either direction since Biden was the functional nominee of the party.
Terry.
That's amazing. Nothing is going to change this race, and I don't think the debates are going to do it.
Terry, the president spent a lot of time questioning Mr. Biden's mental state. Do you think Mr. Biden has something to prove tonight?
Yeah, I mean, the president has made it really easy for Joe Biden to pass that test. When you spend the past 6 months to a year saying someone is sleepy and on drugs and God knows what else, if you just don't fall off the stage and drool on yourself, you're going to be okay. So at the end of the day, the bar has been lowered.
All right, Terry Sullivan, Robby Mook.
Something I know about.
Terry, putting it in perspective. All right, Terry and Robby.
I'm envisioning drooling now.
Yes,
all right, thank you both. Our live primetime coverage of the first presidential debate starts tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, right here on CBS.